Guys, I literally have complete chills here. For those who are familiar with my work over 5 years, I code Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth daily. And now, Pope Francis dies at age 88 on Queen Elizabeth II's 99th birthday. Pope Francis was the head of the Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican City State. He was the first pope from the Society of Jesus, the first from the Americas and the Southern Hemisphere, and the first born or raised outside Europe since the 8th century Syrian Pope Gregory III. I've been talking about how there's so many firsts recently, and we know Jesus is the Alpha, the first. So Pope Francis was born in 1936. He dies in 2025. And he dies on Queen Elizabeth II's 99th birthday. Below is Pope Francis's last tweet he posted, which happened to be on a day honoring the resurrection of Jesus Christ and also Adolf Hitler's birthday. Pope Francis, Christ is risen. These words capture the entire meaning of our existence. For we were not made for death, but for life. Hashtag Easter. A day after he tweets, we were not made for death, but for life, he dies. And judging from his preaching, he died in his sins. Because he was telling the world that we're all going to heaven, which is a lie from the devil. He also said, we all worship the same God, which is a lie from the devil. So Pope Francis dies at age 88 on Queen Elizabeth II's 99th birthday, and 88 plus 99 equals 187. Revelation 18:7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. I sit a queen. Pope Francis dies on the Queen's birthday. Also known in Gematria, guys, Adolf Hitler equals 187. The Georgia Guidestones came down on the 187th day of 2022, 42 years after they were erected. Now, Elizabeth's husband was Prince Philip. Prince Philip died at age 99 on the 99th day of 2021, leaving 266 days left in the year. And Pope Francis was the 266th Pope. Now, Pope Francis's name was Jorge Mario Bergoglio. And in Gematria, that equals 111. And he died on the 111th day of 2025. Okay? He died on the 111th day of 2025. And his name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, 111 in Gematria. Wow. Revelation 1:11, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia. Pope Francis died on 21/4. Revelation 21:4. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. 21 times 4 equals 84. In Gematria, Jesua equals 84. The Jesuit order equals 84. The basilica was struck by lightning the year Francis became the Pope in 2013. And exactly 84 years after Vatican City was founded. Lightning is God's judgment, guys. Revelation 8:4. And the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before God out of the angel's hand. 8:4 is the 216th day of the year, which happens to be President Barack Obama's birthday. And Barak translates to lightning in Hebrew and Arabic. And Lucifer was cast out of heaven like a lightning bolt. Pope Francis, guys, he died a span of 2 years and 16 weeks after Pope Benedict died. Francis replaced Benedict in 2013. And 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. Pope Francis was born in 1936, the same year Nazi Germany hosted the Olympics. And he died a day after Adolf Hitler's 136th birthday. Revelation 13:6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And guys, look at the Nazi symbol. Looks like lightning. 1936, like 1936, is 44 times 44. Pope Francis died 4 months and 4 days after his birthday, which I believe will absolutely connect to the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which I've been warning you about. Obama was the 44th US president. The United Kingdom, guys, the dialing code is +44. And the Pope dies on the Queen's birthday. Remember, guys, Italy beat England in the Euro 2020 final. You think that was a coincidence? The first game of the Euros was played in Rome, in Italy. And the final between Italy and England was in London. Italy, guys, is the home of the Vatican. It's where the Pope resided. And he got to witness his beloved Argentina win the World Cup, didn't he? A day after his birthday. Revelation 4:4. And round about the throne were 24 seats. And upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment. And they had on their heads crowns of gold. 24, guys. Hitler's birthday, 420. Easter was just celebrated on 420, honoring the resurrection of Jesus Christ. My sister's birthday, I hope and pray that she comes to see the light. Her name is Dawn, which is so biblical, especially when it comes to the resurrection of Jesus. Now, Pope Francis was born on 12/17/1936 in Flores, Buenos Aires, Argentina. He was born on 12/17 on Saturnalia. Saturnalia, the ancient Roman festival of Saturn in December, which was a period of general merrymaking and was the predecessor of Christmas. Basically, pagan, right? And we know that it's the Catholic Church that brought us the Gregorian calendar, all right? Pope Gregory, which makes no sense. We're told there's 52 weeks in a year, but there's 12 months. And there's 4 weeks in a month. And 12 times 4 is 48. So how do we have 52 weeks? Shouldn't we have 13 months? 13 times 4. That gets you 52. 28 days a month. No, the Catholic Church changed the calendar. Okay, because the Catholic Church is all about deception. It's why the Pope speaks out of the mouth of the serpent at St. Peter's. And let me show you guys. Okay? the Pope speaks from here, the mouth of the serpent. It's the mouth of the serpent that deceived Eve, right? This is St. Peter's Basilica. Snake. Deception. Now, Francis was born on 1217. 1217 is the 199th prime. Guys, Queen Elizabeth II's funeral was on the 19th of September, 1909. Now, this next bit is just staggering. Pope Francis died exactly 135 weeks after Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. Okay? The Queen's funeral was 9/19/2022. Pope Francis dies on the Queen's 99th birthday, which, by the way, is 9 times 11 is 99. Okay? And Pope Francis dies on the Queen's 99th birthday, exactly 135 weeks after the Queen's funeral. 135. Revelation 13:5. And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Now Israel declared its independence on the 135th day of 1948, the same year that Queen Elizabeth II gave birth to King Charles III, her eldest child, who is the current king. Vatican City declared its independence on the 42nd day of 1929, the same year that the Great Depression began. How convenient. The Basilica was struck twice by lightning on the 42nd day of 2013, the year Francis became Pope. Jesuit equals 42. The Beast of Revelation reigns for 42 months. Pope Francis died a span of 126 days after his birthday. The Beast of Revelation reigns for 1,260 prophetic days. Rome reigned for 1,260 years, where there was a persecution of God's people. King Charles III, the eldest son of Elizabeth and Philip, was coronated on the 126th day of 2023. And to finish off, to back up everything I've been breaking down over 5 years, Kobe Bryant died, the Black Mamba, in 2020 on 1/26. And Kobe Bryant was a regular attendee at Our Lady Queen of Angels Catholic Church. Queen of Angels. The Pope died on the Queen's birthday in Newport Beach, California, including the morning of the tragic helicopter crash that killed him and his daughter. He and Gianna attended a 7 a.m. Mass at the church and received communion before the flight. 7 a.m. Mass at church? Okay? And what does it tell us here? What does it tell us here? Saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, and what thou seest write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia. And Kobe Bryant dies on 1/26 with Gianna. The day that he attended a 7 a.m. Mass at the church, where he received communion before their flight. Oh my word, guys, this is spine chilling. This is up there with when I predicted the Queen's death at age 96, 2.5 years before she died at 96. The day I was supposed to be flying to England was the day that the Queen died. And remember, she died on 9/8. And 9 times 8 is 72. And Pope Francis became the Pope on the 72nd day of 2013. And there's 72 goetic demons in the Bible. And 66 plus 6 is 72. And 666 is the number of the beast. Guys, please like and share this. And if you're new to my channel, go watch my work over the last 5 years. You will be absolutely blown away. Please like and share, guys. God is great. Jesus is coming soon. Give your life to Christ today. God wins.